So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everyone had a great night and you're ready for the day ahead. I came here to just do a short video on something that I thought would be important and helpful to somebody out there as it relates to the vaccine and the vaccination program rollout. So, I have been thinking, everybody has their reasons why they would or why they wouldn't. And so I wanted to share my reason as to why I chose to take the vaccine and specifically why I am comfortable with the AstraZeneca vaccine. So just a little bit of background. I have a 13-year-old son who suffers from asthma. And asthma, as you know, is a disease that it attacks the respiratory system, your lungs. Everybody knows that. So what I found interesting, and I actually didn't realize this till afterwards, is that my son uses Symbicort for his inhaler. Symbicort is made by, see it on the bottom right there, AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca have been around for quite some time. I know we hear about the AstraZeneca vaccine and the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine, but it's just the name of the companies that are making the vaccine. So for instance, you hear AstraZeneca, AstraZeneca is the pharmaceutical that's making this particular COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer is the pharmaceutical that's making that particular type of COVID-19 vaccine. So the one that we have here in St. Kitts is the AstraZeneca vaccine. I'm comfortable taking the AstraZeneca vaccine, and I was happy to put my hand up and go get vaccinated because I know that for years, AstraZeneca have been researching everything to do with our respiratory system. And so it tells me that a company that have been putting in so much research in the respiratory system must most definitely be a company that knows quite a bit at this point about the respiratory system. And so if we think about it, COVID-19, it's a disease that attacks our respiratory system. And so if it's a disease that attacks the respiratory system and you have AstraZeneca who have been studying the respiratory system, they should be able to come up with a vaccine or any other type of medication that will be able to target that disease within the respiratory system and ensure that whatever they put into it is able to relieve whatever ailment that can be caused by this vaccine. And so that is let me just put in my disclaimer. This is my very layman thought process that went through my decision making. I also did quite a bit of research on the AstraZeneca themselves, and so they've been around for quite some time. And apart from the Symbicort, there are other medication that they have developed for different ailments of your respiratory system. And so it gave me comfort that they know what they're talking about. I mean, even as part of the package that comes with my son's Symbicort, there's also this little chamber. They call it the vortex chamber. And he attached this to his inhaler. And that way, the medication is targeted directly to his lungs whenever he has an asthma attack, to help to make sure that he gets the correct amount of the inhaler into his lungs to help to fight that asthma attack. So it tells me they are looking at the details of this as well. And if there's a company that's so detailed on how it's not just about the medication itself, but how can we make sure that that medication truly targets what it needs to target, it tells me they're paying attention. And so yes, we know that these vaccines, they have been developed in a shorter period of time, but they have been developed in a shorter period of time. One, because they have been given the funding that they need in order for them to be able to move faster. A lot of the times, these pharmaceuticals don't always get the resources that they need in terms of financially to be able to pay for the different phases of research that is required. In this instance, because it's a pandemic, people are giving them the money and the funding that they need to make sure they're able to go through the process and do the testing that they need to do. And so we might be hesitant about it, and I understand that, don't get me wrong. However, we have to look at everything that goes into making a vaccine and even look at the companies. For me, I went down to the level of looking at the company that I choose to take the vaccine from. And so I just want people to just consider that when you're also making your decision, because I know that's not something that everybody else would have thought of, but you're just hearing